live on YouTube, and listen back on Spotify. This is the World of Football podcast.
Good evening and welcome back to the World of Football podcast, watching live on YouTube and listening back on Spotify. As you can see in the title, it's finally happened, and I'm pretty sure we've got two Man United fans here, of course. There's only one thing to talk about, isn't there? Mr. Ten Hag, absolutely shocking loss again, 2-1 to West Ham at the weekend. Wasn't a great performance. It was pretty much curtains since they got battered 3-0 by Tottenham a few weeks ago. But Ratcliffe, Ineos, Glazers, pulling the trigger. Going to start off with welcoming you both in, and then we'll get to the juicy bit of the podcast. But anyone who's dropping in right now, please remember to listen to us back on Spotify. Do what you can, Most likely, right? Julio, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing all right. Crazy news.
Yeah.
I say crazy news. It was inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
It has been coming for a good while. When you deep it in hindsight, obviously it's been coming since earlier in the calendar year, but the way things panned out, they kept him on.
I'm just pouring out Ten Hag's career, sorry.
But he's never been in the Red Bull group.
No. That's reserved for Jurgen Klopp.
Do you know what?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm pouring out all
Reece would be on the Red Bull if we got Nagelsmann, beyond belief.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I'm pouring out his tears, and I'm gonna drink them.
Clearly, Reece has shown his thoughts on the of a man losing his job. A nice one, Reece, very classy. But in fairness, I think I'm not surprised he's gone. I just thought they'd leave it to the international break, but I think when they've reviewed the fixtures coming up and how United could be out of Europe and out of the Carabao Cup in the space of 4 games, I think they've looked at it and gone, we're 25% of the way in the season. We've got 4 wins all season. It's not good enough. This is relegation form in all competitions. Mm-hmm. So they've acted. I'm impressed they acted so quickly. We'll come to my thoughts on the whole thing after we introduce Mr. Steel Chair. Sorry, I keep calling him that in group chats. It's a habit.
That needs to end. Come on. You can't be a steel fraud if you get 98%. If you get 98% accuracy of your predictions from the weekend, right?
That's very good.
But yeah, no. 10 I've gone. On to the next one.
Absolutely, and moving on to obviously Mr. Steel Fraud. How are you doing, sir?
For fuck's sake!
Had to happen.
Change the banner to Steel Fraud is right now.
No, that's my own. No, you won't. I'm well, thanks. Don't you if you change it, I'll change it straight back. All right, that part I'll let you off because I'm not actually signed into the fucking account. I'll let you off that one. I'm well actually. Good weekend. This is my 6th stream in a row in 4 days.
That's impressive.
I'm well.
Good content, by the way. I will point out I have watched bits of it. I'm not into wrestling, but it does look like good content, so I will give you that.
Thank you. I mean, I've told you that it's good. I mean, I'm actually very, good at it. I'm also very enthusiastic. That's not me trying to be smug or nothing. It's just, I am. I'm well. Like I said, I'm on my 6th stream in a row. This is a stream I didn't expect to happen right now. I did say, to be fair, at the start of the season, Ten Hag wouldn't last till Christmas anyway. And I'd dwindled my thoughts on that. I said Ten Hag would be gone by Christmas. And, well, he is. I know. Yeah, Catherine's happy that from her son's perspective. I think I agree with Julio's sentiment. It was absolutely the right decision. Like, and also I'm kind of glad as well because United have done the one thing that they didn't do, what they did under Mourinho, they did under Solskjaer.
I am so glad this comment has come in from, because I've been meaning to
Yes.
tag this person all evening.
I asked her.
And of course, we
I
get to discuss Anarim as well, don't we?
just for the record, I did ask Maisie if she wants to join us, but I did at least ask if she wants to join us in the chat. So I'm glad that she's here.
Yeah, if
what
you
was
want to Maisie, drop me a DM and I'll check the code. So
I really hope so. One thing I did reiterate in the market of it is United didn't do what they did under Mourinho. Yeah. They didn't do what they did under Mourinho. They didn't do what they did under Solskjaer. They didn't sack off the season. Now, United are absolutely out the Premier League title race already. United are 12 points behind Manchester City. So, even as a United fan, want to win the league, that's over. Like, I'm not even thinking about the league. United are still in the FA Cup. United are still in the Carabao Cup. United are still in the Europa League. I'm not going to say
about.
I'm not going to say Ruben Amorim's going to win a treble, but Ruben Amorim realistically could win maybe one, maybe two of those. But I encourage him to focus fully on the Europa League. Even though I'm an advocate for you go use the whole squad to challenge for all competitions, United are not getting the top four. So United's fundamental objective for me till the end of the season, if Amorim gets the job, go for the Europa League and not just try and compete. Go and win the fucking thing. And I think he could. And then Champions League football is guaranteed. Then you can focus on next season, how he wants to add to the squad. I think he needs a left wing back and maybe another centre back and a striker in January. He needs at least a midfielder or two in the summer. But for me and him, his fucking main objective has to be win the Europa League.
Absolutely.
Has to be.
So in that case then, and before I jump onto a few of the comments, especially Catherine's comment on what it does for obviously the players in the dressing room.
Thanks, Catherine. I appreciate that.
Massively. We'll get onto this in a second because that's a very good question because I've got some thoughts on that as well. Expectations now for the Premier League, because this is my personal opinion, but seeing how a lot of the mid to upper sized clubs in the league that aren't the top six, like for example Forest, spectacular start to the season, they're going to be certainly up there. Villa, Champions League team all over again this season. Fulham have got a good shout for Europe, and etc from there. Brighton, obviously they're always going to be up there within the shout. What's your expectations for the Premier League?
I think that's where United finish anyway. Eighth. I think United will finish 8th in the league game, but I hope United win the Europa League.
Yeah.
I think Maisie's right though when she says the Europa League's too lazy for them. Too much for them because they are lazy. I agree. But I think if you get somebody like Amorim, who I actually would say is most likely a much better communicator than Ten Hag, and more enthusiastic, doesn't look like a man on ecstasy or cocaine, I think you would certainly believe him a little more. I think he would encourage the players a little bit more. I think if he comes out and says, lads, our objective now is just to go and win the Europa League, I think they would buy in. If he gets the job, I hope he gets the job, to be fair. I like something fresh. It's something new. Like, obviously, it's United's second Portuguese manager. But it's something new, that it's someone who specifically plays a different way of football, has a different setup to the club that's 100% different, that's not traditional, and I like that. I do like that. Garner left wing back. See, I have a different idea. I think Amad Diallo.
It's a good shout.
Until he gets somebody else, I've got Amad Diallo, and the reason why, Maisie, is because I'm going to throw it to you because you like Sporting. I'm going to say because of Nuno Santos. It's a natural left footer, but it's a left footer that can create.
But
That's
on the other hand, to that, and I know I'm going to bring this up a lot tonight. Ten Hag has spent.
Knows more. I just want to say though, I'm probably most likely to be wrong, because obviously Maisie knows sport more than I do. But I'm just based on the fact it's a more natural left footer and it fits the position until we get an upgrade. And then when you get an upgrade, push Amad into that 10 role or whenever if he plays it. I look for the prospect.
The one thing I will spin it on a little bit though, with obviously getting another one in, is Ten Hag alone has spent 650 million. predecessors just wasting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
know.
of million. I know obviously you guys have restructured upstairs and have actually imposed like a head of recruitment, sort of a director of football as well, and also
Not
taking stuff off the manager. A, is it not enough, as you said? And B, is it just throwing more money at nothing for the constant same mistakes, which we're just going to see on this continued cycle? And another thing with Anarim, and I was discussing this with Julio backstage as well, because is this very similar to the Ten Hag appointment, where you're getting a manager in from a non-top 4 league who's dominated and been really successful at that level and has worked his way up, brought in loads of players from that country as well, gets this big move into a top 4 team, great start, stamps his authority down, gets rid of a lot of the deadwood, wins a trophy, and then by the second and third season, you start to lose it a little bit. You try to adapt to the league and change things up. You then completely struggle at the start, bring in your own players, get worked out, and get sacked. Are we going to see that again with Anarim? That's my concern.
I can see your point, and I think those are very fair critiques. One thing I would like to say as well, and this is just not just the ideological difference, but it's also more of a physical difference as well. Liga Portugal is a much easier, more physical and more tactical transition to the Premier League than the Eredivisie is.
Yeah.
But I also think as well, and this is what I like, to be fair, I like watching the Dutch league. It's not a bad league, especially if you like more technical than physical imposing players. If you like mostly just technical, then watch the Eredivisie. But if you like a combination of both, then definitely watch Liga Portugal. It's an underrated league. I think it deserves a lot of credit. I've got more of a preference towards Benfica. I like clubs that have got a deep-rooted history in a certain way, and it's just how it is for me. But I've watched a fair bit of Sporting, and I do like how they play. I think I haven't watched them as much as Maisie, but I've watched at least maybe 6 or 7 games last season. I watched a few games in Europe, so... But I like what I saw. My only concern, though, is, as you say, it's coming in that way, and then the club could back out. Well, the players might back out. I don't think he's the type of person who's going to let them throw him under the bus. The fact that is also as well, he was a professional for Benfica as well, so he knows how to play for a top club. He also managed it. He managed Braga as well. He managed Sporting. He's also done what Ten Hag hasn't done when Ten Hag was at Ajax. I think that's something that goes in Amarim's favour. Now, we know that Ten Hag did revamp 2 teams in different ways, and Amarim realistically has done the same. But Amarim hasn't changed his style. He changed the setup. Yeah, he did. He won the League Cup with Braga, exactly. And that was literally the season before he moved to Sporting. He won the Cup that summer, and then he went and won the league title unbeaten. I think what's good for him, and this is what stands out for me, is he doesn't necessarily change his style, but he'll tweak the system, but he'll replace players with like the exact same profile, but maybe better quality. And another thing as well, he faced adversity. He faced that Benfica team that won the league, and he faced Koikinchal's Porto, who adapted to win the league as well. So I think the one thing he's got as well is he knows how to deal with the pressure of the other top teams in that league, and he's been able to succeed against them and maintain consistency. I think that goes. Ten Hag realistically didn't have that as well. When he came in, it did take him a little while to win something at Ajax, but PSV weren't that good either. Neither were Feyenoord. It was just that Ajax were just still in and around, but once they really kick off, they kicked off.
Yeah.
And I think that's what goes in Amarim's favour. That's something I did pay attention to. I did look at when I was walking back, because I had to depart the house quickly. But I was just looking at stuff on the way back. I was impressed with. But that is true. He used to play for Benfica, and he rejected them as a manager. He said, "No, I'm not coming." He went, "No, I'm going to Sporting." I like the fact. This might sound strange as well, but 5 or 6. I would say maybe. I could say you could say 7. He reminds me of Leonardo Jardim in a way. We've spoken about Leonardo Jardim's Monaco before. And the reason why is they play that direct football, but also they had their teams raided, and yet they still were able to do something. So obviously, Jardim would never win the league again because PSV are just an absolute bunch of pricks, and they just enforce the league with money. But Jardim managed to keep the league competitive. Like, he at least managed to keep Monaco competitive until eventually they gave up on him. He didn't give up on them; they gave up on him. So I like that. I like that at least Amorim is proud of his work, and he'll do everything he can to ensure whatever goes wrong, he will change it. I think that's a good testament to his character. Santa Clara are such a good side to watch. I like Santa Clara.
Oh yeah.
That's what I would say. What are you thinking, Julio?
It's very. I'm in complete agreement with a lot of what you said there. So it's very difficult for me to try and build on that.
So what do you disagree on?
I don't. That's the problem. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to actively look to disagree with you. I'm just trying to see if there's like a. Because.
Well, here's a question for you then. He's not even in the job yet. But what immediate concerns do you have? Build on that
question.
from what I've said. Build on what I've said from that, and then use that as a question point.
His dependence on wing play makes me worry about the middle again, similar to what we've seen here at United.
Yeah.
The other thing is the wing backs that we've currently got. I said last season I thought he was a perfect fit for the Liverpool job because of the way the players they had and the personnel and the instructions a lot of the players had, and where the emphasis was under Klopp. I thought would have been a perfect fit for what Amorim does.
Yeah.
I like him. I like that he does. I like the fact that this isn't another one of those possession managers in the sense of we're going to come in, they're going to play this very possession-oriented game. I like that it's something different.
That would have been madness if that happened, by the way.
He did, yeah,
I'm about
did.
to ask Maisie a question, but I'm pretty sure this is a fact as well.
What I like about this appointment actually is the fact this is not like the previous regime of the board where they've gone Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole and Ten Hag. There's no continuity between the managers, and a lot of them were trying to get rid of players and bring their own players in.
Yeah.
This one looks like they've gone, right, what have we currently got? Because I think a lot of the players that we currently have got would work in an Amorim system, and it would suit the style of play that he would incorporate. So I like that because it means that now players that we're going to be signing are going to be players that match to what he wants, but also there's going to be player continuity. So it's like Reece said about players leaving and then similar profiles coming in.
I like that, to be fair.
I
That's
like
for me
that
a proper
a lot.
rebuild. That for me is a proper rebuild.
Because it's all about club philosophy. If you're losing players and bringing new ones in, why are you losing players and changing them if that's not if there's no club philosophy?
Yeah.
I do like the fact that, look, Ronaldo made comments a couple of years ago. I can't remember in what context he made them, in the sense of who he said it to and how he said it or whatever. In the sense of a club the size of Manchester United shouldn't have a coach, it should have a manager, which is where Reece's
that was towards Rangnick.
Yeah, where Reece's father Allegri would come into question as a very good manager who would be perfect for that.
Oh, hey! He's my forefather on my Italian side.
Look, the point is Ronaldo liked Allegri, and when Ole was sacked, I think Ronaldo said you should have got Allegri or Zidane.
Yeah,
he advocated for Allegri or Enrique. Yeah, I agree on that. I agree on that short comment. I agree on that comment.
Yes.
Mainu,
he'll be amazing. Well,
I hope he still gets heel-manned. I will be on my knees begging him to get heel-manned. Sorry, Miz, I know you love sporting, but I really want heel-man rated.
Sorry, that other comment about the youth I think is a big thing, because one thing I've always been an advocate for is Reece, we had this discussion actually in the group chat today because I sent in that clip of Goldbridge talking about 5 at the back and saying it's not the United way and it's a stolen formation, etc.
Oh, that's a load of rubbish. That is.
It is. But I think
the United
way is winning, good
Mhm.
football, implementing the youth.
Yeah.
The United way
Amorim
is
ticks all those boxes.
the United way is less. The United way is winning trophies, playing good football that's direct, fast, and controls matches, and implements a style that allows young players to thrive in it.
So what I
The
just
United
said,
way,
but
the
with more
but you
words.
forgot trophies. You forgot trophies, which
I
is
said
the key
winning.
fundamental. But you can win matches, but not trophies. You need to be distinct.
Winning. So when Conte says he's a serial winner, does that mean he only wins matches,
There is-
not trophies?
There is literally football players.
Reece, we
this is not
said
a
the
joke.
same thing.
There are football players, and I'm not coming at you in that way, but there are football players who will say we want to win, but then they don't say what. You know what I mean? They just say we want to win. Well, be distinctive, you absolute morons. Here's another thing as well. I'm sorry, what? They've not conceded a goal since August. Fuck off.
No.
To be fair, I
That's
haven't
insane if they haven't.
Steel
fair,
Fraud
I
just
haven't
told
watched
Mace to
them since
fuck
the
off.
Sport
I'm not having this.
Wait, let's have a look at
I
this. Sporting.
I haven't watched Sporting since the Porto game. To be fair, but that is.
I
This is
have got
what
to
I
see
mean.
this.
A midfield of Mainu and Ugarte is
Oh,
there,
they have.
ready.
Wait, that's in the Portuguese third rounds, Portuguese Cup.
I
They
would.
conceded as PSV. No, Maisie's right. They haven't conceded in the league since August.
That
And
is
how many goals have they?
insane.
How many goals have they scored
Let me just count this up. Is that in the league or in general?
in the league? How many league games they played so far? Has to be at least 10.
I think it's 10, so they scored. No. 15, 16. 25. 26,
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
30. So they have scored 30 goals in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm surprised you didn't just look at the league table and look at the
6.
stats, Nathan.
No, I'm counting this up. 7,
You know, it's mad.
8.
And I say,
Yeah, 8 games, 30 goals in 8 games.
So they've scored 30 goals in 8 league games, conceded none. Do you want me
Yeah.
to tell you how much of an impact that is? Barcelona in Europe this season have scored 37 league goals, conceded 10. And they've played. I'm pretty sure they've played 12. They've played 11 games in the league. They've actually
That's
scored the same amount
nuts.
of goals. I'm sure. I'm certain of this. I actually think when you look at goals scored, I actually think, and I fucking hate this club, but this is actually just a relevancy. In terms of league goals, I actually think they've scored the same amount of league goals as Celtic. I think. I'm double checking now. No, obviously, they've actually scored more. Celtic have conceded 3 goals, scored 27. So they've outscored them as well, and Celtic have played 9 matches.
Oh, great.
That is incredible. You know what? Just get the guy in now. Fuck it. Sorry, Sporting, but we're taking him off.
I
your hands.
want to discuss that actually. The reports today about Rude being interim for now, and then
That
talks
sounds like
this
a
evening
facade.
talks about Amorim verbal agreement, looking for discussing a release clause, etc. I like the idea of bringing him in now. I don't want another manager in that we wait till the summer, we go through hell for the next 6-7 months. I can't have that. I really like a manager coming in now and getting started, and I really hope that's the case. So
I know I'm jealous of you that I'm not going to get.
Because at the
go
end of
back
the
to
day,
watch.
the previous mid-season sacking, I think the club want to shy away from getting Ragnick. Like, I still don't understand why they brought Ragnick in. Because at the
I
end of the
think they
day,
brought him
he
in for the long
exposed
term.
everything.
yeah, I
that
liked
was
the
wrong, and
idea
then
of bringing him in
replaced
because
him
he
with Ten
came in, held the fort, but did a proper
Yeah.
case study of the club.
Hag. It was a good case study of the club, but why bin him so quick? That's
Because
my
Ten Hag
reason
didn't
for
want to
why it
work with
didn't
him.
work, which
Ten
is
Hag didn't want to
ridiculous.
work with him. Yeah,
I would
I
have
would
made
actually
him work
like
with him.
him now. I would actually like him now with Amorim. It
Mm.
actually fits like young, direct, a core focus on younger players who are going to be the core of your team and develop, but also play a direct way of football. But then he can get all the guys in to do all the scouting shit behind the scenes, the proper hires and all that. Still keep your Berarders and all that, and your Blancs and your Brailsfords. Get rid of Dan Ashworth.
Mhm.
But there's actually something strong there. She's pretty much said all the players I would sign.
I would stay well clear of Gyökeres, though. I know he's been like a goal machine, but I've seen him at his worst.
I would only take him purely for the experience, but the ones I want straight away, the ones I want straight away is Hillman and Diomande.
Yeah.
I do like the thought of Diomande because he's something a little bit different to what we've got.
He's a fucking unit.
Exactly.
Like, he is built like a brick wall, but he's fast. Like, imagine somebody like that running at you. Like Yaya Toure, but in defence. In 20 years younger. Like, I'm like, Maisie not long ago sent me a picture of like Diomande from when he was like from like it was last season or maybe in the season before. And
I remember the chats of the season before last when I first started.
He was still
doing
big.
These shows.
He was still big. Like, he was still big. He wasn't as big as what he is now, but now he looks like Adama Traore in terms of big. Like, muscle wise, is huge. There's a lot of muscle on him, and no, bring that up. Right. You didn't win the debate. you definitely didn't win the debate. I like Diomande, but I also really like Antonio Silva, who is a quality player, but he is really stagnating under the current Benfica regime. I do not like how he's being played. That's all I'm saying. But he has built up like a tank. Actually, speaking of which, I know I've just said his name and I find it quite funny. I'm not as big a fan of his. But weirdly enough... Shut up, Maisie, I did not. I really like Antonio Silva, but Diomande has certainly got a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
And I do believe that. Adama Traore, weirdly enough, does scream an Amorim type wingback player. I'm not suggesting we sign him.
Valencia regen. I'm locked in.
I do think we need to look at wingbacks that are fast, powerful, but can definitely deliver crossing a ball. DeMarco left wingback, I'm still fucking advocating for. I think Matsurawi DeMarco would be enough for me.
I think he would be excellent.
DeMarco
He would fit
Matsurawi,
that system perfectly.
Yeah. Where did he finish in that Young Player Award, by the way? Garnacho finished 6th in the Young Player Award, by the way, the Copper Trophy. And Kobe Mainu finished 3rd.
I'm pretty sure. I know Yamal won it. I'm pretty sure. Let me have a look. For anyone who's wondering, it's the Ballon d'Or tonight.
It's Rodri's Ballon d'Or.
I'm not there because I heard that apparently that I wasn't going to be winning it, so I decided not to go out tonight.
It's why
I decided not because I knew Wilfred Kanga wasn't on there, so
I didn't turn up because I wasn't.
Baller.
I turned up because I wasn't nominated for the Manager of the Year award, so I told him to suck it.
So Emiliano Martinez has won the Keeper Award.
Oh no! Who'd have seen that one coming?
Oh no! Anyway, here we go. So Copper Trophy, which is the Youngster Trophy. Yeah. Yamal won it.
Who was second?
Second, Arda Güler.
Yes.
Then Kobe Mainu 3rd.
I love Arda Güler. He's
a
good.
Baller, he is.
He's so good, and I was on him before the fucking Madrid fans, because Milan wanted him as well before Madrid even targeted him.
He did. And then the rest, Savinho came 4th. Cabrasi came 5th. And then let me just see. I can't get. It just goes to 5th on what I'm looking at. Let's have a look.
Reece.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the rest to come out.
Yes, sir.
Reece, I've just seen your message in the group chat about Quaresma. You used the wrong first name. You called him Ricardo. It's Eduardo.
To be fair, I thought it was correct. I thought it was. That's my fault.
You got the surname right. I'll give you that.
Yeah, the surname is what matters. The surname matters. I'll be happy to get the right one wrong. I'm alright with getting one name wrong. 70% career win record is nice. So is Allegri.
This guy.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Do you know what? Amorim
like
wasn't
that
my first
United
choice,
are going.
but I do like all these points about him, and I think he's
That was
actually
my
a very
thing
good
about
fit. And based on his CV and this stuff on the table,
Oh, remember,
ticks-
what doesn't define a good manager is the trophies won.
True.
no, that was coach.
That was an inside
You
joke
gotta
to
correct
Julio.
it. It was coach.
It was still the same shit, if you think about it. They're still given the same role these days.
Because at the end of the
Coach,
day,
manager.
look at the amount of trophy. This is prime example, like one I'll take off, but prime example, Brendan Rodgers. Look how many trophies he's won at Celtic. Doesn't make him a good manager, though, does it?
But then he went and done. He then won an FA Cup with Leicester as well, so he kind of proved that he could do something. I think, to be fair, he is a bit of a twat.
But
He is a bit of a twat, but I think Brendan Rodgers is a good manager. The problem is, and I'll stand by this
He's
for
a
the test of
penis.
time. Well, that too. He's just quite boring.
he is.
And
I mean, you could sell him as
Yeah.
a sleeping treatment. To be fair,
That is true. We are getting a Mourinho disciple if Amorim comes in.
I know.
He is a Mourinho disciple. I think I'm the special one. I think I'm a Amorim or I'm a him. I want him to do that at his press conference. We've got the special one. We've got the normal one. I am Amor him.
One thing I do want to say though, Ten Hag was let himself down with
Lying
poor communication and presence for the job.
Yeah.
and lying.
I get the impression that Amorim might have that about him. He seems like from this press conferences I've seen, he doesn't seem to struggle to get points across, doesn't seem to struggle to get communication. I know the word aura gets thrown around beyond belief these
I
days. but when
fucking
you-
hate people use the word aura. For
I know
everything
you
these
hate
days.
that word,
Absolutely
Reece. I know
hate
you
it.
hate
Because nobody knows what it means. Like when people actually say aura, this is what annoys me about it. When people say aura, they don't know
Just
what
go
it
through
fucking
me every
means.
time people say it.
Like if you're going to use it, say it correctly. So what
Yes.
you're saying, I'm going to allow you to continue, but what you're saying is correct.
You see what I'm
Oh,
saying? You can see.
yeah.
I'm glad you can see the point
Bring
I'm
that
making.
fucking comment up as well, Nathan. I want to touch on that in 2 minutes. Carry on, Julio. I want to touch on that.
I'm glad
I'll
you
keep
can
it on
see
there,
what I'm trying
actually.
to say, because I don't want to try and explain it and then somehow explain it wrong, because it's not fair on myself with the point and Amorim, who I'm discussing. But it seems that he's got what Man United needed was someone who has the presence for a big job, knows the expectations of a big club, ticks all the Man United way, Man United traditions, history, etc., club philosophy, tick those boxes, and can command the respect of the players, can, you know, it doesn't lose the players, put it that way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think all of that together, I think Amorim has.
Yeah.
Not
I
wrong.
think
I really do hope. I really hope he comes in as soon as possible.
I would let Van Nistelrooy have the Leicester game. Like I would have Amorim under contract to take the job, but I would let his first game be Chelsea. And not in the sense of you're going to dismantle him in the first way, but I think it would be cool that his first game is against a team who are a direct rival, where he can actually set the tone. I think if Van Nistelrooy gets a good result against Leicester, it gets the players already in the right way with Amorim, and then Amorim's like, right, you've done this, now let's go and win. Let's go and do
I don't
this.
know. I don't know.
If he
I
did
like
though.
I like the point. I realistically, I think maybe we won't see him until probably the international break. So Ruud's new manager bounce will get us to the international break, will keep us in the Europa League and the Carabao Cup, hopefully.
Is that not 2 games away?
So I think there's 3 or 4 games between now and the international break.
Is that the Europa and the
Europa,
Cup game as well, badly?
Carabao Cup, yeah, and then Chelsea and someone else in the league.
We play Leicester twice, I'm pretty sure.
I think so, yeah.
We play Leicester in the Cup and the league.
And then the international break comes in.
Mm.
And I think then Amorim will come in, have 2 weeks, pretty much, with the squad. If he was to come in now, I bloody hope he does come in now. I really do. I cannot have interim to the end of the season. I cannot wait another 6 months for a new era. I cannot. No, it has to come in now. Start implementing his philosophy. Start implementing his style.
And to be fair, if United were serious, United should just tell the players, we've got a new manager coming in, don't go to the internationals.
I think a lot of them will stay anyway.
Just deny them. Ugarte, you don't need to go to Uruguay. Just say you stay here. Martinez, you're not going to Argentina. Garnacho, you're not going. Just
the only thing is with denying them from going to play international football, though, like there's some, especially the European teams as well. There's a lot at stake in the November one with the Nations League. I know it is just glorified friendlies, but I know it's making a statement. But will it cause too much friction where you're just going to get a waiver transfer request in January? Because that's my main concern with that. Because there's being brutal, and then there's just taking it that little edge too far. That's my worry.
No, I think that's fair. That comment there about Ten Hag wanted that back. There's a report that came out tonight as well before we went live, and I was like, I put a responded tweet on it saying people can take it in two ways. It was a report that Ten Hag was going to quit after the FA Cup final, but then he changed his mind. So I put in response, either he thinks he can turn it around, like the FA Cup is a start where he could potentially turn around and he'll make things better and then they'll go have a better season, or if things don't turn it around, the club will sack him and he'll get a big payout. Now, I'm hoping it's not the latter and it's the former, but right now the latter is really proving its point.
It's suspicious, isn't it?
And it's 17 million. It's a big payout. And it just screams that. I hope it's not for the bag, but to be fair, I don't think Mays is wrong. And another thing as well, I can see why she'd think that about Amorim saying Fernandes wouldn't suit the style. Depends where if he was to fit in, where would you play him? I think if he's played as a 2-10s, not as a 3-4-3, then he could sit behind a striker. But if he's playing as a 3-4-3, I would say that Fernandes starts on the bench. My midfield, if it's a 3-4-3, my midfield is Menu and Ugarte, fully fit.
Yeah.
But if it's 2-10s, I would still play Ugarte, Menu, and I'd play Fernandes as one of the 10s. But I'd like to see what Maisie thinks on that, personally. I can see the reasons, to be fair. Like, I do see why.
One thing I do want to actually bring up, talking about the extended deal. I feel like people are not looking at it the right. Reece, I'll get your input in a moment, and yours as well, Nathan. But I just want to say my piece on it. I think they did. I think if they were going to keep him, I think they did the best thing about. I think Ineos handled it well.
Yeah.
Firstly, they showed backing the most minimal way possible, in the sense of, we'll give you a new contract. And they gave him coaches, but then obviously they gave him coaches and spent a lot of money. But they were going to spend that money anyway. They were going to bring in new coaches anyway. So Ten Hag, after the FA Cup final being kept, will have wanted reassurances. And I think the assurances, they gave him a 1-year contract, because let's not forget, they were talking about a new deal, which was designed to take away the power Ten Hag had agreed in his previous contract with the previous board. They couldn't find an agreement, so Ten Hag, they just triggered the 1-year extension from his previous contract. Because you've got to think as well, imagine if this season Ten Hag has started really well and we were up where Liverpool and Arsenal are, right? Just imagine for a moment. Without the contract extension, may I add. That would have given Ten Hag the power. That would have strengthened his hand in negotiating a new contract anyway, because he's in the final year. And if he's doing well, he would have got a new contract, would he not?
Yes.
To protect themselves from any kind of thing, they triggered that extension because they didn't want to be put in a position where the manager would force their hand in any way about a contract. And I feel like people are only looking at it, well, because obviously in hindsight, maybe it was the wrong thing to do because he's not started well and he's gone now. But I think triggering the contract was the best way possible. Triggering that extension protected them. on the whole, because we didn't know whether it was going to be really good or really bad this season. We all said Ten Hag needed a good 6 weeks to prove he deserved to still be in the job. No matter what assurances he was given, they were always going to be keeping an eye, because they made no secret they were looking elsewhere. They interviewed Marco Silva 2 days before the FA Cup final. So, like, I think they did the right thing in triggering the extension and not going all out and giving him a 3-year contract and saying, right, we're going to give you a 3-year contract, we're going to give you loads of money, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Because the signings we made
every time it just overcooks it, especially when you have concerns about whether to keep them on.
Yeah,
that's my
but the thing is,
opinion.
The players we signed in the summer, okay, you can argue De Ligt and Mazraoui are Ten Hag players, but any new manager that comes in will look at those two and think they're good. I like these two players. Ugarte was not a Ten Hag signing. Ten Hag doesn't like Ugarte. He would have rather have kept McTominay for that holding midfield backup role than bring in Ugarte. Joshua Zirkzee, the Dutch link, okay, you can make a case about, but one of the best players in Serie A last season. Good signing, good value for money, offers something different up front and can work well with the other players around him. So I just think on the whole, that 1-year extension, I think, was the right thing to do regardless, because it was their way of going, because it was their way of saying, right, we're going to back you, but in the most minimal way possible. I mean, Nathan, I'll ask you first. What were your thoughts? What are your thoughts about, in hindsight, with the contract, etc.?
I'm going to sort of bring my Cardiff bit into it as well. And I know it's me being biased and going on too much of how bad my club is run, but I like a lot what Ineos had done, because at the end of the day, they were concerned that towards the end of last season, there was supporter pressure from both sides, whether to flick the switch, go with a bigger name, even though at times I did think that some of those individuals were a bit arrogant. But at the same time, they looked at him thought, right, we could give him a little bit of money to improve this squad further. It's not perfect yet. However, we're not sure if he's the right man for the job. Let's give him that 1-year extension and see how it goes. And then the payoff's not too big if it turns out to be a complete disaster. Oh, it's a complete disaster. Let's sack him in a good position. And they sacked him early as well, which is not like Manchester United. Look at some of their other sackings. Moisey, he was sacked very, very late. And then Mourinho was sacked randomly in December, is the thing you've got to look at. And same with also Solskjaer as well. Another late sacking where they had to bring in Ragnick in interim to expose stuff towards the end of the season. And ultimately, I think the fact they've done it now and are changing the approach with it, and it also seems to me, listening to the likes of Gary Neville and listening to loads of interviews on the way home tonight, that this was coming for a while. They wanted to see how it goes and give him every single chance that they possibly could get. And that Tottenham game was a key indicator, I think, on a lot of it. But to be fair to Ineos, fair play to what they've done.
Maisie is right, though, as well. Like, Ineos certainly have ways to do better. Like,
at the end of the day, the one thing I will say to Manchester United fans, it just in regards to like the Glazers and also just ownership in general, for someone who, while I personally believe we have, minus obviously, what's his name, that idiot from Reading, Dai Young, on all these other different players.
Cardiff, Marseille, Rangers, AC Milan.
That process was mad, by the way.
I would say they're the 4 worst run clubs in the world. Marseille, Rangers, AC Milan, there's Valencia. Like, they're up there for some of the absolute worst.
Absolutely.
Man United, I would say, in a way, they technically are, but there's a change, at least with Ineos. It's just they've got a lot more to do.
And that's the thing, they're relatively new to it. And the thing that I will say to Manchester United, and I've been saying it for years, I know it's bad, but A, you're trying to evolve, B, they're still pumping money in, even though it seems absolutely stupid, and the off-the-pitch situation is pretty horrendous, with like the training ground on Old Trafford, but it could be worse. you could be Leeds in the early 2000s. That's the thing you've got to remember.
Yeah, I'm just glad you didn't say you could be like Newcastle under Mike Ashley. Oh wait, I lived that where being the Rangers fan.
Another option. Or you could be like Rangers in the early 2000s.
Oh, bad mixture. Well, to be fair, they were still winning trophies and competing, but there was obviously a lot of things behind the scenes that were really, really shady that should never have happened.
Absolutely.
And the SFA really like want to try and like physically kill the club when Rangers were bringing in money to the league. Like really,
that was disgraceful. At the end of the day, even though as much as I don't like you guys, and as in I'll always be a Celtic guy because who I support.
I know.
But I really think the league should have bailed you out at that point. Even the Scottish government, I think, have something to blame because of this. Basically, well, there's arguments that you're the biggest club in the country. Like, how can you let that happen? How can you let your biggest football club in the country, when it's your national sport, go bust?
And the North as well, they didn't even. Anyone that tried to buy the club, the SFA tried to outprice on any potential owners and liquidators. They were like, no, make sure you pay the absolute minimum. Something I've got a massive problem with. Funnily enough, Rangers exposed a problem that's also very wrong with the Premier League. Yeah, and it's about the issue of who can fit the means and proper test for becoming an owner. So many owners have come in to buy clubs and have never shown proof of funds. They've never shown proof that they've got the financial means to own a club. And then they eventually get the club, and then the club folds. Rangers at the time were they won 3 league titles in a row. Ali McCoy was in a good position to be Rangers manager, and he was actually winning the league already at that point. Rangers were 10 points clear of Celtic. They've outscored Celtic, conceded less goals. It looked like a foregone conclusion the Rangers were going to go and win the 4-peat, which hadn't happened since the 90s when Rangers done 9 in a row. End of that season when Rangers win the league, they get sold. Really annoyingly, Rangers get sold to from Sir Ian Murray, and then you think, okay, new owner, he's going to go and spend in the club, and Rangers are going to go and carry on, do even better. No, things get bad from worse, and you're like, hold on, what the fuck's going on here? And then it gets to February, and then Rangers are in administration, and then people tried to buy the club, and they wouldn't let them do it. And they were blocking people from buying the club, and I'm like, how can you be blocking this? And then they said Rangers' debts were 3 times higher than what they were. They weren't. They were just outsourcing to any means to destroy the club. And they ruined fans that day. Like, a lot of Rangers fans I know, even like the new regime, have not gone back. Yeah. They just stopped watching football. Like, they don't watch football anymore. Because of what the SFA did to the club. That might sound a bit biased being a Rangers fan, but if that was Celtic, it nearly happened to Celtic in the 1990s. Celtic nearly got liquidated in 1993.
This is the thing that's just even more ridiculous. The fact that they actually allowed Rangers to happen, yet they just didn't learn their lesson from Celtic in the 90s. That's just corruption.
No, they saved Celtic. They saved Celtic because Peter Law was on the SFA board at the time as well. And he's always been on the board. He's always been in the highest position. Rangers have only had 1 member of the board in the past 5-6 years. And then he got ousted after a year because they wanted Peter Law back on the board. If that doesn't scream corruption, I don't know what is.
Absolutely.
People moan about Rangers penalties. People moan about Rangers getting their penalties, but you've got a Celtic man who's the main man on the board. Make that make sense. Imagine it was somebody from Man United like Blanc or Brailsford who was the main man on the PFA. He's been our best player this season, ironically. Him or Evans or Eriksson, I'd say, are best players.
Which is quite something considering the talent you've got there.
Yeah, I'm glad for Emi Martinez winning the award. To be fair, I think Emi Martinez is a fantastic goalkeeper. I like the fact he's an absolute shithouse, but I like the fact he backs it up. He is such a good goalkeeper, and I love the fact he's won more trophies since leaving the Clowns than staying with the Clowns. Like, he leaves Arsenal, wins the World Cup. Beautiful.
And not only that as well, even though he wins the World Cup, he gets Villa into the Champions League and then turns him into one of the best teams in the world. Insane.
Yeah. He's unreal. He's unreal. I hope Amorim looks at the goalkeeping position though. I've got nothing against Onana. I think Onana's had a good season, but I think one thing Amorim has done though is he did stick with a goalkeeper for quite a while. I wonder if he'll stick with Onana or if he might look to bring in his
that
own
Real Madrid reject?
Yeah, he did stick with him for a long time, and he was crap. So I wonder if he'll do the same or will he replace? He doesn't know what a good keeper is. Yeah, that's something that makes this a flaw. Yeah. That's my only thing. Yeah, Adan. How the hell did he replace Iker Casillas at Real Madrid baffles me before they brought back Diego Lopez.
Mourinho was like, just drop Casillas at all costs, because apparently there was rumours that Casillas was leaking stuff to his journalist girlfriend.
Which is not even true, because she slagged him off at the World Cup as well. She slagged off Casillas at the World Cup.
Fake news.
Didn't they have a divorce a few years ago?
Yeah, after the heart attack.
Jesus. Do you know what though? One thing I will say, Diego Lopez is an underrated signing in the Real Madrid era, because he was a good goalkeeper.
He was alright for his first season at AC Milan until he bottled it. And then in came money grabber.
But yeah, on the goalkeeper situation, I am curious, but I think he might stick with Onana, which isn't the worst thing in the world, if the back three cooks as well as you say it will, Reece.
That is my means of it, is can he do it? It's just, can he do it in that way? Yeah. We do have a decent young goalkeeper, to be fair, at the club. Like VTech is there. And if he does choose to go for a younger option and just say, you know what, I'm just want to mould my own goalkeeper, I would like that. But there is a few goalkeepers out there that I wouldn't mind if we did sell Onana. Like, top of my list probably would be, from a relevancy, I would say, is Unai Simon.
It's a good shout.
A couple of years ago, absolutely, I would say no. Like 3 seasons ago, I'm definitely saying no to Unai Simon. But the past year and a half, he's transformed. Like, he's finally realised his potential. He's had the best defensive record last season. He had a phenomenal Euros. Like, he's somebody that I would personally advocate for.
Yeah.
But I don't know. At least there was one massive positive about Amorim getting the job. It's not going to Gareth Southgate. 52 minutes, 45 seconds in, and we can finally say it's not going to Gareth Southgate.
I can rest easy now.
I'm not even joking. I would never watch Man United again if Gareth Southgate got the job.
I don't blame you.
It's all right. You've got another 4 clubs you can watch instead.
United still hold my heart strongest.
You don't have a heart.
I do. I got it implanted.
Oh god.
I got it surgically moved in.
To be fair, Nathan, this isn't the weirdest conversation me and Reece have had today.
Oh my god. I dread to think some of the other ones that you have, honestly.
Oh mate, it was one of the most weirdest conversations I never thought I'd find myself having with Reece, but Reece, it was about that show that you told me your family's obsessed with, that you somehow know the stuff for.
See, when you know things, you know things. It's cause he got screenshotted about some random response he put on Twitter about talking about Coronation Street.
Yeah, I watched a clip. There was a clip that appeared on my feed, and it wasn't even. It was about some woman trying to Sally, that was her name, trying to show that she wasn't homophobic, and she was trying really hard to. I think the line she said was, "I have a gay daughter who's a lesbian too."
Oh no!
Just saying this to a bunch of other lesbians.
No,
like,
no,
what?
mate, no.
What?
No. I'm not ever talking about that show.
Reece, do you want to shed some light?
I refuse to watch shit like that. I'm sorry, matey, but no. My mum likes it though, but not my style. Thank you. Married at first sight.
Oh god.
More like married at first gunshot.
She held at gunpoint
Julio.
at the aisle. Okay.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Do you want to plead your case or?
Oh.
Oh my god, that's comment of the night.
I was gonna say, I think we found comment of the evening there.
Julio just walks on. Who's for me? Here comes 50 birds and they just go, actually, hold on, let's turn around. One stays.
No, mate.
You'll do. You know how to
Mate,
treat a lady, I can tell.
Standing at the altar, mate. I am standing at the altar, fearing for life. I'm praying, like, please. Like, I'm making sacrifices. I'm saying, like, don't give me this. Just give me this.
I need to see Maisie's reasons because she says that you know how to treat a lady well and she can tell.
Ask my lady. She'll agree with that statement.
No, she won't.
She will.
No, that's not very nice. No, you literally abandoned this show for a date that should never happened.
What do you mean a date?
Well-
It was date night. It was an anniversary date.
What was the anniversary?
Like 6 months.
6 months.
Is that a
6
celebration?
months.
I don't know. I don't really know what a celebration is these days.
Oh, bless him.
We're not winning.
I'm
enough,
happy.
Nah,
that's
I'll give
why.
you. I'll give you.
I don't need to win. I win elsewhere.
I just meant United weren't winning enough. That's what I meant.
Julio is applying for Married at First Sight. That's why I went, you behave.
No, I was applying for Love Island actually.
I swear to God, I would eviscerate you. If I've ever seen you on something shit like that. That is for clowns. That show is for absolute clowns.
What is this stream turn into?
Don't worry, Nathan. Just check your Twitter DMs in about 2 minutes.
Oh no.
Why is this you saying that you're going back on Love Island?
Yeah, something like that.
What have you done? What have you done? What have
Oh
you done?
no.
What's he done? What's he done?
Oh right, now this is going landscape bet.
You have
What
to.
have you
No,
done?
Nathan, just put it on the stream.
You know
What has
what?
he done? What has he done?
Let me get it added a minute. Right.
Thank you
If
for
this
the
isn't a-
compliments, Maze. I appreciate it.
If
Right,
this
give
is
me
an
2
attack-
secs. Give me 2 secs.
If that's for an attack on, if it's an attack on me, I swear to Christ.
At least you're not
That's
saying
all
you are
right, then.
Jesus Christ this time, Reese.
I'm not religious.
At the end of the day, you gotta remember this is his show, you know?
True, I'm naturally entertaining. When I want to be.
That fits perfectly
Get it in.
with the picture.
What have you done? What has he
I'm
done?
surprised you haven't guessed it, Reese.
It better not be that fucking clown photo that you've done
Oh
of
no,
me, you
he's got
bastard.
it.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
Reese, didn't we do a Halloween show last year and you wore clown makeup actually?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't clown makeup I wore.
I reckon we
I
should
know
get that up
makeup.
right now.
Do you want me to just do it right now, live on stream?
What, the face?
Mm-hmm.
By all means, it's your show. Don't tell me he's going to pull his middle finger out of his bag.
Oh my god, he's actually going for it.
Right, well, whilst Reese gets his makeup on, we'll continue discussing football.
Anyway, should we give a 5 away from Man United to discuss a certain club?
No, not really.
Fair enough. All I'll say is though, what's happened, honestly.
Do you know what, Reese? You look so different without glasses. It's actually
God,
insane.
he's like a different person.
Yeah, it looks scary.
It's like taking all the black spots off the panda's eyes, honestly.
Yeah, I don't like human.
It's anti-human.
Mm-hmm. I'm an advocate for fuck humanity.
One final
Yeah.
note on Amorim. by the way.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
just will say I do like the appointment, and I think a lot of people are in the unknown, and I think that's a good thing. I always do like the element of the unknown about it, and he better be smart enough to implement his thing. None of this abandoning or adapting principle. Just come in,
Or
make the
say
league adapt
eras
to
are
you,
going to end.
and it's something different to what other clubs have,
Yep.
which is
Which
what I
I
love.
said. Which is what I said.
Yeah, it's what you need as well.
Yeah.
Where
Nathan,
are they?
why hasn't Vincent Tan called me yet?
Maybe because of this.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
I
the
saw that.
Because I'm the director of football.
No, you're not.
He is the director of football. Now, this is what I'm concerned about. A, how did we score 7 goals in 3 games? More importantly, 7 goals in 2 games. B, how has it changed so much? C, how is Omar Reza doing this considering his start and the comments at Bristol City? And D, what are we supposed to say? Because at the end of the day, A, he's going for the cheap option and the assist and basically the first team coach.
Tight cunt.
Exactly, like he's done before. But on the
He
other
probably
hand,
has one.
this guy has been insane. The players are loving him.
Maybe that's the
Like,
thing.
I just
Maybe
don't
they
understand it.
Maybe Bullet
Like,
was
we're
just a
going for
bastard.
the same. We're going. Admittedly, he was from what all the players were saying. But how have we continuously made the same mistake again? Yeah, it's worked. This well, at the moment, it's worked. It's just mad. And how has it gone so wrong for Bullet? Like this club just.
Baffles you?
This club just blows my mind all the time. It's unbelievable. Like, we have one of the best transfer windows out of all the clubs in the summer. Have the worst start out of everyone. SACKED or Bullet, I mean, rightfully, even though I missed both of the games, which basically warranted him to get sacked. And, like, Omar Reza comes in, has a really bad start, and then just turns it around like that with a Bristol game. Changes the style of play, implements the actual Cardiff way. What we've been missing since Dave, like, I keep saying it, this is the best football we've played since the Dave Jones days. This is the best football I've seen us play since 2011. Like, it's just absolutely fantastic. But where's the catch? As I always say, I said this in the summer with Bullet. All these signings coming in, where's the catch? I just don't get it. And more importantly, do we stick with Omar Reza? Do we flick the switch and go for Slaven Bilic in January? Or what do we do? What do we do?
Interim till the end of the season. That's literally what's going to happen.
Yeah, cheap option. It's a good option, I think.
Well, I'm a cheap option. I'm very low maintenance.
You know what? Let's get it up now. Bring him in.
You know, oh, actually, one thing on Amorim, I rate his dress sense.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think you had that in the bag, Nathan. I didn't think you had that photo there.
I've got everything to hand. Don't you worry. There you are. Maisie approves.
Thank you.
Anyone's.
Do you know what? I have a scarf like that somewhere. I actually need to find it.
Oh, you definitely should. I want you to turn up to a podcast wearing
what, in my full-on overcoat, scarf, turtleneck, etc.
Oh yeah,
I'd
it's
be
like
too hot.
proper football manager vibes.
I'd be too hot. I'd be sweating.
Nah, just stand in your garden in the middle of winter. Just go right.
What, in the dark when no one can see me?
Yeah, get a phone light maybe, and then kabang. You know.
Reece,
But, I
you're on
mean-
mute. I didn't catch that.
I've got the same stuff, to be fair.
But just touching on, like, obviously what's going on at the moment. Looking from what we've done the last couple of games and with the changes, by the way, that is looking incredible, Reece. A, what do we do in January? B, what should now be our expectations, and C, most importantly, with where you think we'll finish, what do we do in the summer and where do we move forward from here? That's my real question.
Well, if I had all the money in the world, I'd just buy him off Vincent Tan and just say, Reece, you're my director of football.
Mm-hmm.
And then sack him if he ever pissed me off.
I would win you stuff, mate. There's a difference.
That's what they always say, Reece.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is I know what to do.
Well, before Reece indulges on his blueprint, Nathan, you're going to have an interim till the summer. I think all you can hope for is mid-table, to be honest. What you do in the summer, I'd say go for someone proven in this league.
Definitely.
I think Bilic is probably... I mean, where is Bilic now? Is he a free agent? Is he in Qatar?
He's a free agent at the moment. I think he was in the Middle East for a little bit. He either resigned or got sacked, but he's put out something today because he's been heavily linked with the job. And he said that he's ready to return to management in the new year.
Yes, so in mid-August, him and the club agreed to mutually end the contract.
Yeah.
Listen, proven in this league, I think in terms of recruitment, he likes playing with egos. Tan likes signing big names, big wages, etc. It's a good fit. You just want to hope he gets you up.
Yeah.
I think. You guys aren't like Swansea where you care about the style of play. Hurry up and get promoted.
100%.
Because the minute you get promoted, hopefully Tan's not stupid enough to think he can salvage Cardiff and keep him in the Premier League. He should look to sell up. I know I've talked about this with you before in the last year. There's obviously rumours that he'd sell if you went up. You've got to hope that getting someone like Bilic gets you up first time of asking with what you've got.
Because that's the thing. No matter...
second season, he might not be here halfway through the second season because that's how it runs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then look at our recruitment record since Warnock as well. No matter what the situation is, there's always high expectations, especially because, in my opinion, and a lot of fans around the league have said this, we have by far the most toxic fan base in the league.
You do.
Potentially even out of the Premier League and Championship, or even in the 92, we probably have one of the most toxic. We're literally up there with your Chelseas, with everything. If you're not constantly in that promotion battle, then the fans are just bitter completely. And at the end of the day, that's fed into the owners as well, and that's all they accept. If you're not in a playoff battle, you're out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think with the culture, with the size of, I think the good thing about the Championship is the fact that obviously you can't have consistent challenges every year realistically because eventually they go up. Like Sunderland this season, I can't remember where I put them on predictions. I think it was mid-table, but I didn't have them where they are now.
Yeah.
But we all knew there was going to be a team that wasn't bang on to finish top 3. Oh my god, I can't wait to clip that up and throw that into group.
Do you know what the difference is?
Oh, here we go.
I don't give a fuck.
That's getting clipped. Yeah, every home game and most away games, basically.
I don't care if people clip me. Because the difference is, at least I can back it up.
Absolutely.
But yeah, as I was, sorry, I forgot my point for a moment there. I think it's not unrealistic. And it's not unrealistic to expect your club to challenge for promotion, because it's entirely possible if you just recruit right. I know that's difficult because Vincent Tan, the man with the plan, etc., etc.
Wait, shall I get
Yes,
the
I
clip
know.
on? Yeah,
I mentioned it.
get it on.
Vincent Tan, he's the man with a plan. Vincent Tan.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to say
hate
the
that.
other one because I don't want to get that out tonight.
I hate that clip both the Vincent Tan one. I hate that clip so much, but it's very accurate, and just for pure idiocy, that is the circus of Vincent Tan. I don't know what you do in the summer, to be honest, because I think that will just depend on who's available, how much money you'll have to spend. I know it's probably the most cop-out answer I could give.
To be fair, you're not wrong because there's so many nuances.
You need fullbacks.
Yeah.
If you're going to keep operating, you're going to need, especially left backs. You're going to need striker that can score goals, which is obviously few and far between these days. But I don't think it's unrealistic to look for ex-championship players, like big names, like Josh King is someone I keep advocating for, because when I say a name like Josh King, what I'm saying is like a ex-Premier League, ex-championship, scores goals.
Yeah.
But ex-Man United, that kind of bigger name fits into the Tan mold, and I don't see Tan changing that. So,
because the thing you got to remember with Tan is he's a very stubborn and superstitious man. Like, if something's worked in the past, he will stick to it permanently. Like, a massive change. This is a weird one, but like the superstition with the sponsor. So the second we started being in relegation battles with this thing, changed it back to the old sponsor where we got promoted. That's how superstitious the man is. And if anyone's listened to it's gone already. Boo. Anyone who's seen the Sean Morrison podcast on the Central Club, which
yes, oh my God, we haven't spoken about this since.
I know. The amount of stuff that has exposed behind the scenes is ridiculous. Especially when it comes to like Vincent Tan and why managers didn't work. Like, I know I said a lot about Tan against Steve Morrison and how much of a stupid sacking it was, but I'm starting to see why that was done now. And literally the whole fan base has been made to look absolutely silly.
Yeah. I did find that podcast, especially that clip you sent in, Nathan. I found that really interesting because...
Oh, is that about the player meetings he had?
It was about when Solskjaer brought him in and what Solskjaer was looking for, and
Krispy Kreme.
You fat fuck.
Midstream.
Yeah, about what Ollie was looking for and how bad the dressing room was at the time, and we obviously discussed that what Cardiff maybe could have or should have done better in that window, not just in what Ollie's recruitment wasn't great, signing all those Norwegian players, but the fact that I said that if they kept Malky, they could have maybe gone for Jelavic or Shane Long, both Prem proven at the time. Jelavic on the way out of Everton, third choice striker at the time, and Shane Long was linked to leaving in the summer before. The move didn't quite happen, so it obviously came back to happen in January.
Shocking player,
but
he was one of the downfalls. I'd say the other downfall was that he kept picking his favourites over the team in general.
We had that a lot at Cardiff as well.
Like picking your favourites. Ironically, and this is what managers never learn. Picking your favourites is where you actually go wrong. You prioritise your favourites and making them happy. The team loses faith in you. Two of the best managers of all time. Now, I'm not saying it because I'm not just saying it because of where they come from, but two of the best managers of all time are Otmar Hitzfeld and Fabio Capello.
Yeah,
and the reason being is their most successful team periods. So Capello, when he managed Milan after SACKED, the one thing that he fundamentally imposed with that team is, yes, we are the best team in Europe, we are the best team in the world, but this is a team where it's going to have a strong rotational policy. So everybody's still going to play the whole season, and they won 3 leagues. They won the European League double. They done all that, but they built it purely on we must ensure the team is rotated to ensure fitness and sharpness is maintained. But Otmar Hitzfeld did the exact same when he went from Dortmund to Bayern after they made him the sporting director after he won the Champions League. He went to Bayern, nearly won the treble in his first season. Obviously, he lost to United at Nou Camp, but he fundamentally imposed a rotation policy. You do rotation properly, and you keep the whole team happy because of that, and you get the team on side. You will see all he chose not to. He chose to stick by his favourites, and coincidentally, they fucked him over. Give us a bite of that donut. What? Give us a bite of that donut, tight ass. Which part? Which part do you want?
I do have one more question before.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Thank God. Bon Mati won it. Oh, yes.
Good.
I love Bon Mati. She's so good. Not because she fucked over England at the World Cup, but because she's so good.
Best women's player in the world, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. She's incredible.
By a mile. Oh, saying that, manager of the year's out as well. Your favourite, Reece? Or one of your favourites?
What?
Ancelotti.
Did he win manager of the year?
He did.
Horny football.
Sorry, what did I just miss?
Horny football.
I was on there
Reece,
for a minute and I came
we
back
need
in
stop-
and I heard that.
We
Oh
need
my
to stop
God.
twerking. So we need to stop twerking for. But I fucking love Bon Mati. She's quality.
Great, Reece is having a wank on stream, ladies and gents.
It's
It's not 10 o'clock
ha-
yet, Reece.
My hands on my cup and my hands on my fucking keyboard, you weirdo.
Alright, fair enough.
As a player, I really like what Bon Mati's done. But that Graham Hansen's a good player, to be fair.
No, I won't lie though. From a footballing perspective, I really do like Aitana Bonmati. Very good player.
That Alexia Putellas' injuries really caused her downfall.
100%.
Because I think she's a good player, but that injury really cost her huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was bad. So I'm going to get on to one more thing because I'd like to also get Reece's take from the protest at AC Milan as well over the weekend, which looked absolutely mental on that second tier of the San
What's this?
Siro.
Sorry, I haven't heard anything
need
about,
to-
or seen anything about this actually.
That was fucking. Oh,
I know.
there's no justification for that, and it's definitely the Italian FA. Something needs to be looked into that. Like, how can you postpone the Milan versus Bologna game and not give a reason behind it? Like, they just postponed the game. They told Milan, can you find different accommodation? Milan found 3 separate accommodated facilities, and they still
Excuse me.
postponed the game. That would have been Lewis Ferguson's return game from ACL injury as well. So you didn't even get a chance to get his first minutes back from that horrible injury. But yeah,
that's
they
weird.
denied. But yeah, like Milan were in 3 separate hotels, and they were like, "Nah, we're not playing this game. Postpone it." So Milan's next game is a game against Napoli tomorrow.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's disgusting.
I mean, it just shows the corruption yet again in Serie A for me.
Mm.
Like,
No,
do they ever learn their lesson?
No, Fonseca's a wanker, but even for him, that's a bloody shame. Like, he can't even get his team out for this game where it is crucial. Like, it is a joke. Tell you one thing though, that game last night was the best game I've watched in 2024, and I was at Man United Liverpool in March, and that was a great game. The last game
Juve
last
you're
night,
talking about.
yeah,
Mhm.
but that game last night topped it. In terms of the best game I've seen live, obviously, that United versus Liverpool game was incredible. But the game that I've watched all year, even on TV, that Juventus Inter Milan game was unreal.
In terms of club football, is it bad to say the 2 best games I've ever seen live are games that we've lost?
Is one of them the Wolves game?
No, surprisingly not. So one is the League Cup final, and the other actually is us playing Liverpool in the Premier League first season, the 6-3.
Oh
Which
my
ironically-
God, I forgot about the 6-3.
Yeah, ironically, the worst thing is, I don't remember much about that game. I say this all the time. I remember more about the protest before it.
Mm-hmm.
That was when Luis Suarez. I'll always. That is the best individual performance I have ever seen in my lifetime. The way that Luis Suarez ripped us up that day.
What a player he was.
He was unbelievable.
Hang on. Technically, you didn't lose one of those games. If statistics and records are anything to go by, technically you drew that game. It doesn't count as a loss. At least that's what I'm being told about Manchester City in the Champions League. You only drew the Liverpool game 2-2. You lost on penalties, but that doesn't count apparently as a defeat.
Exactly, and bearing in mind, the one thing I'll take from that game was we were by far the better team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
you
that's not being bitter. We were the better team. If Anthony Gerrard didn't strike that penalty over the bar, it would have just been the Premier League we would have needed to win.
The full game is on the EFL website, on the YouTube channel, where they show League Cup games. The full match, Sky coverage is actually on that. Penalties, full everything, all 120 minutes of penalties.
He's won it.
You need to watch it. Wow.
Rodri. Yeah, I did that stream on the Weekly Armchair, Julio. Mike.
Yeah, he has.
I said that Rodri was the best player in the world who's going to win the Ballon d'Or, and I got called delusional.
Who called you that?
Someday in the live chat. It's in that live chat when you watch it back. I got called delusional for saying Rodri's the best player in the world.
So if that's correct, is he the first what's it called? First Premier League player since Cristiano Ronaldo in 2008?
Yes,
yeah.
But he's also the first defensive midfielder to win the award in the award's history.
Wow.
Like out and out defensive midfielder, not converted player or just happened to play in that position for a season. He's just out and out the first ever defensive midfielder to win the Ballon d'Or.
To be fair, I agree with that statement.
Can I be honest with you about something actually regarding the Vinicius Junior point? Because obviously there was talk that
Junior finished fifth in the awards. He finished fifth.
Finished fifth.
Wow.
The top three was Rodri, Bellingham, Dani Carvajal.
Okay, Carvajal finishing third is not a surprise, but I was going to mention his name. But based on accolades alone, you could argue maybe Carvajal should have got it, having won the Champions League. But I do agree that, at least for this occasion, they've not gone on accolades. They've not gone on Messi or anything. They've gone for someone who's genuinely been really good and is the best in his position, arguably. If not, no debate.
And not only that, it's just the consistency as well with what he's done, and also the trophies. Everything just in general tied it perfectly for Rodri there. Vinicius, there was bits missing. Bellingham, what's he won? Minus
Champions
League. And
I don't get it. How can you not deny Rodri? I mean, Rodri won the. It annoys me to say, but he won the treble with Man City, and then he won the Nations League and they won the European Championships with Spain. That's 5 trophies, and he was a fundamental part in all 5. How can you not say he's not the rightful winner for the Ballon d'Or? This is what I hate about all these Messi and Ronaldo cocksuckers who want to give the award to them. The year Messi won it in 2010. Messi did nothing that year. Apart from win a double with Barcelona. Diego Milito got robbed. 2013, Barca won Bayern win the treble. It goes to Cristiano Ronaldo.
And even then, 2022 as well, literally the only reason he won the Ballon d'Or... No, 2023, sorry. The only reason he won the Ballon d'Or was because he won the World Cup. Full stop.
Exactly.
Even though there was much more different players that warranted it. Ideally, and this is my personal opinion, Haaland should have won it that season.
I would have said as well, if you're not giving it to Rodri, if you're basing it on that year plus the World Cup and all that shit as well, why isn't Julian Alvarez not being considered?
True.
Julian Alvarez had one of the best years. He won everything. He's another one that you could rival Rodri.
He won more than Messi as well.
Yeah.
In the year Messi won the Ballon d'Or.
Then still hasn't got anything. You know what I mean? I think it's a joke.
Criminally underrated.
He's not having the best times at Atletico so far, but when he comes good at Atletico,
he's going to be insane.
He is going to slap La Liga up the arse. Guy at work has made an Amorim Man United team. Thoughts? Right, let's hear it. So she's got Popperdom, Ashikazo, Nana in goal. Okay. Let's see these three centre backs. For me, I would say Yoro, Delit, Martinez, but I know a lot of people are thinking other things.
Oh, here we go.
Yoro, Delit, Martinez.
Solid.
Yep. And the same three positions that I would have them in.
Okay, let's have a look at wing backs. Oh, okay.
That is. Negotiations are underway between the clubs. Amorim would be moved to United immediately, but he's not putting any internal pressure on Sporting. Nice, and it's from political. He'll only make the move if all sides find a reasonable solution. Sporting essentially need to find a successor. You know what? I respect that.
That's fair. Plus, it gives Van Nistelrooy time to just sort of.
Okay. Now I like the midfield, apart from one skank on the right wing back and one skank at left wing back.
I don't back that.
You can't really call Shaw a skank.
I like this
He's not
though.
out enough.
And then Hoyland's fair enough.
He is out injured enough, so he gets up to stuff. Rashford and Bruno, and that's in the 2 10s that I thought that we would play. And I had Bruno and Rashford in the same positions in our group chat. Hoyland up front. I had a similar team. The only difference I had was I had Ahmad on the left, and I had Matsraoui right wing back. But that was it. I had the rest. I had the exact same bar those. I actually don't mind it. I think that's a decent team.
This was my point earlier. What we have currently, he can easily work with. It's a fit.
I would tell him. I would hope until he gets a left wing back of his own that I hope he makes Harry Amas his left wing back. Because Shaw and Malacia can just fuck off. It'd be quite funny now if Luke Shaw is now automatically eligible to play. It'd be quite funny if he's now available for selection. I'll laugh.
You just see him pop out of the fridge with all the donuts in his hand.
I just hope he comes in and does all his Amorim. I just hope he comes in, just does this thing, no pressure, no worries about other people, because it almost felt like Ten Hag came in and thought he had to change for Man United.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said to you earlier. I don't like managers that are compromised or
Because
compromise themselves.
They set themselves up to fail. But this is what I like. I like the fact that Amorim can come in, because long term, Shaw and Malacia aren't the answer at left wing back.
I'd like
DeMarco.
Yeah, I agree. I like DeMarco.
You can use them
with
there
a
short term.
successor.
My hear me out for left wing back though.
Kirkesh should be a Premier League option. I'd like.
My Premier League option is Ait Nouri, because I think you can get him for 30 million or less in the summer if Wolves go down.
Now the thing is, with Wolves' finances and stuff, and especially what they did with the Cunha deal a few years back, or it might be, was it last season? I can't remember. They're going to get raided when they get relegated with FFP.
I think you could theoretically get him now, and it would still be okay. Like Anthony Robinson at Fulham's not so bad either. I think there's a few good players. Like Estupinan at Brighton's another one.
Yeah, there's some decent. That's the thing with the wing backs. If you get decent enough players, you'll be fine as long as you got the quality elsewhere. Yeah. You don't need an all-star in every position. I know that sounds quite, because obviously you need really good players in all your positions.
Yeah.
But for every all-star team, there is. I mean, David Beckham said himself, there's two types of players at Real Madrid. You get your Galacticos, you get your hard workers. And he came in as a Galactico who almost became a hard worker in his own eyes. And I think that's incredible. The fact that he was a hard worker himself, but he was a Galactico himself. He was a mix. So for every Galactico we have, you probably need a water carrier somewhere. But if you've got a decent enough left wing back who can do the job necessary, I think you'll be fine if you've got really good quality elsewhere.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I do wonder though, if we do get him out, if we'll actually buy anyone in January. Because on the
I
one
think
hand,
he'll.
I don't think Ineos will. But on the other hand, I think they're smart enough to try and find a way to bring investments forward. So if there's a good deal on the opportunity in January, well, let's say Wolves are desperate to sign players, so they're open to selling any one of their better players, and a deal is on the line for Ait Nouri. I think Ineos go all in and take that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think it will be up to the manager in that way. I think one thing is for sure is he's not going to sign somebody who doesn't play in that type of position, that type of system. Like, he is going to go outright like, this is what we need. One thing that, if he does come in though, and he gets off right off the bat, if he is coming in now with January in mind, they have to let him sign 1 or 2 players. They have to let him get at least 1 or 2 signings in January.
Yeah.
And then in the summer, give him a little bit more. 2 signings in January, 4 players in the summer, maybe 5, give or take. 7 signings within 6 months. But
Do you know what the crazy thing is though? I
But it's
don't
not
think
7
we need
signings.
that much.
It's not. No, I'm not saying like 7 signings to completely overhaul the squad. I'm saying 7 signings where like 6 or 7 maximum, where they're going to go into positions we already have, but they're going to still improve the squad, and it'll still allow competition to be key, and hopefully it will allow him to implement a policy of rotation. But competitiveness is so vital, where all he needs is 1 or 2 left wing backs, sorry, specifically. Get rid of 2 or 3 centre backs at the club who shouldn't be there and sign 1 or 2. Get a midfielder and get a striker. That's all we gotta do. That's for you.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, you're right. You made the right call coming off Twitter anyway. It's a fucking cesspit anyway.
Oh, is that why I couldn't tag her this evening? All right, that makes sense. Because once the Amorim news came out, I was like, right, straight to Maze, let's go. Can you give me
opinions, please?
Yeah, because I knew instantly there was one person that was going to give me a proper in-depth analysis that wasn't going to be Reece, it was going to be Maze.
Oh yeah, that's why I asked her. Come on.
Yeah, I tagged Reece in enough as it is. In fact, Reece, I tagged you in something this evening already.
Nice.
But yeah, I do have another difference, and it is going back to my club again. Unfortunately, this news came out, and I want to know what you guys thought on it. And it's in general to watch football, and it may help with like our League Cup discussions and stuff as well. But there's a lot of talk about our teams being allowed to enter the Welsh Cup or the Welsh League Cup again, but with the one stipulation that we forfeit pretty much any qualification via the English leagues or also the English Cups as well. I just wanted to know your sort of thoughts by it, on whether it's us being greedy, whether it'll help the Welsh game, because I have my massive opinions on it. But is it hindrance there? Is it us just being arrogant? Is it us pushing us back into Europe? Or what's your guys' opinions on it?
I don't know if Reece wants to go first or...
I was reading something there. Sorry, what was the context? Sorry, I was reading something that's made me feel disturbed.
Oh, that's fair enough. So, long story short, it looks like from next season, if it's approved by both the Welsh FA and the English FA, and this has been talked about for years, that all of the Welsh clubs playing in the English leagues are going to be entered back into the Welsh Cup or the Welsh League Cup, where whoever wins qualifies for Europe. But the stipulation will be that we forfeit any qualification through the English leagues or the English Cups. I just wanted to take your thoughts on it, whether that's the big clubs in Wales being greedy, or I'll get onto my take in a minute because I have so many diverse opinions about it. But
I can immediately come in on that then. I'm all for it, actually. This is going to sound a bit insulting to... It'll wind up Wrexham fans, because obviously they're trying to get to the Premier League, but in all fairness, I think you should. I mean, people keep advocating for Rangers and Celtic to leave the SPFL and go to play in England. Well, yeah, but then you take away the key fundamental financials of Scottish football and you chuck it straight into the English Premier League and you just make Rangers and Celtic even stronger to a degree with the finance they can make. But then you take away the core of Scotland. If you've done the same for Wales, you've already lost the likes of, well, Swansea and Cardiff. Wrexham are competing. You've got the absolute shithole, as well, as I like to call it, competing in English football as well. So I think, frankly, you should be competing in the Welsh League, and it makes the league stronger. Look at the money you guys bring in.
Yeah.
It would genuinely improve the competitiveness of the Welsh League, and it would allow the national team to improve as well. You can still have players that go and play in other leagues, so that's never going to stop. But the competitiveness of the Welsh League would be a lot better if the likes of Cardiff, Swansea, and Wrexham were in it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
100 times better.
Yeah, before I get on to my take, Julio, what's your thoughts, bud?
Sorry. Apologies for that.
Go for it. Maisie. No.
No, I'm amazed that is weak. I expect
Very
better
weak.
from you.
Well, she says she likes come on, she likes Deadpool. We can't write her off. She likes Deadpool.
I think I'm in two minds about it because I look at it from both perspectives. On the one hand, I would understand the frustration of the other Welsh clubs that don't compete in England. They're like, well, you didn't want to be with us anyway, so why are you coming back now? Clearly weren't good enough, clearly couldn't, etc., etc. I wonder if I know you talked about forfeiting qualification. Does it forfeit their right to play in the English Cups as well?
Yes.
It doesn't. Ironically,
I think in the element they might end up doing it.
In my opinion,
better if they did. At
in
least
my
the League Cup.
yeah,
Maybe even the FA Cup, but definitely the League Cup. They've got to forfeit that. I think if you're going to have your own Welsh competition that you're part of, you've got to forfeit
an English
something more, because let's be honest, Cardiff and Swansea aren't getting into Europe anytime soon.
Okay, I agree.
Through the league system, they're not good enough to win a cup at the moment. It's a great idea for both clubs, I think, to get back into Europe, and with more income, it can mean more development, and we can see both sides improve because they're getting Europa League money in some format, or Conference League, whatever the entry is. I do like the idea of seeing that, but I do think that I really hope it's not like a monopoly between the two of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where it's Cardiff Swansea every year. And I actually do think it's a really good idea. I want it to give as much of a chance still to the other Welsh clubs.
Yeah. As
it did before. So just because Cardiff and Swansea, I don't know if you mentioned Wrexham were a part of it, but
yeah, because up until the 1990s, we all actually used to play in the Welsh Cup. So Wrexham won it 23 times. We've won it 22 times. I think Swansea have won it 10. And then after that, TNS have won it loads. My actual local team, Barry, have won it loads.
All that hipster ball licking, they can't win more than 10. Shocking.
Absolutely.
Shut up. You literally rep the hipster heritage with your loud drop fantasies. Come on.
The difference is basically the best things in sliced bread are going into you.
The difference is Laudrup is one of the best players of all time. He's actually a very underrated manager. He went to Swansea.
Paul Scholes is one of the greatest midfielders of all time, but his football knowledge outside of what goes on at Man United is shit.
Yeah, Laudrup's isn't though. That's the difference. That's the major difference. But
I don't know whether this is just a thing of age at the bottom at this point. It's been 30 years.
You do look the same. It could be you. He's talking about. I don't know who put that comment in. Could be you. Could be him.
It's absolutely age-worthy.
It is age-worthy, but
just like 1986.
Oh my god!
I do wonder what his opinion is. Actually, I do want to get BBL's opinion on that one as well.
Yeah, I think he backs it, but my personal opinion with it, I would absolutely love it to happen just because it worked so well in the past. But I want us to forfeit going into the League Cup because A, it'll reduce the fixture congestion over the bridge, helps all the clubs over there, and it helps this league as well because A, we can redistribute all the funds to all the smaller clubs because at the end of the day, we're the 5th worst coefficient in Europe. And you've got teams below us are like Gibraltar, San Marino, Moldova.
We're miles ahead of you, and that says something.
Absolutely. And the thing is as well,
Your dad says he's not sure.
that's interesting. Because like there is a few things that do worry me about it. But ultimately, I think it brings more positives than negatives for me. Like, redistributes wealth. The amount of sellout games is going to be ridiculous. Some of the finals are going to be entertaining as anything. More exposure with us in Europe, which, like, look at CNS with how well they're doing in the Conference League. The amount of money that's going to bring into the Welsh leagues. I know they are one of the only professional clubs. I know some of the other ones are trying to get back there. I think Barry's trying to get back to being a professional club and stuff after
Would you be
we
for
went
it?
bust years ago. Go on.
Here's a suggestion, and here's what I'm thinking. You forfeit all rights to the FA Cup, the League Cup, any English competition, but all the distribution of money allows every Welsh club to go professional. You're sacrificing
50-50.
you're sacrificing 2 cup competitions, but it allows more money into the Welsh League from all the bigger teams, and it allows the other teams to go professional, and that'll improve the competitiveness of the league.
I'm going to say 50-50 on it. Main reason reason I'm going to say that is because of forfeit going into the League Cup, but I would also not go into the Welsh League Cup, even though that's where they want to go into over the actual Welsh Cup because it's more history of it. But we have a lot of history in the Welsh Cup too. So in my personal opinion, stay in the FA Cup, but go into the Welsh Cup.
Fair. Maisie, that's
my opinion.
That's one hell of a question. And point.
For me, because of where you were a few years ago, mid to upper table would be good. I know you guys have got stunning owners, but that's the thing. There's growing very quickly, but then there's growing too quickly. That's the thing that worries me with Stockport. Yeah, that's the concern. Another concern I have, and this is mainly a me problem, is some of the ties. I know Reece would definitely have this problem with some clubs up in Scotland, and especially like Scottish teams and stuff. Let's say, for example, you're a Cardiff fan, and you draw your local village team. Who are you supposed to support? Like, say, for example, right now, Cardiff drew Barry.
I knew that was coming.
Cardiff drew Lanswick Major. Cardiff drew Dennis Powys. Who am I supposed to support?
Well, put it this way, mate.
That's the problem.
Well, put it this way, mate.
That's what worries me the most.
I've been to Rangers versus Livingston games, and I definitely chose Rangers. Put it that way. I chose the club I support over my hometown club. Because I just do not care about Livingston. I've been to a few Livingston games to show support, but I would choose Rangers over Livingston every single time. Yeah, but my family have been.
How charitable of you, Reece?
I know.
Well, yeah, I was at Rangers games during the League 3s and League 2 days, so I was at them.
Like, that's the thing with like the pre-season games and all that, and the youth games where like the Barry first team will play like the Cardiff under-21s. It's sort of just like, oh, not competitive. But when you're actually playing a Welsh Cup game, most likely a semi-final, yeah, this is where you've got a problem.
What the hell is that? What Welsh pasta dish is that he's just quoted in there?
Okay, that's comment of the night.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say pasta dish in front of me like that.
I'm sorry, Reece.
See, this is a problem.
You absolute donut.
Have you eaten yours yet? No, he hasn't.
I will be soon. I'm enjoying the show first.
Oh.
God. What have you done, Julio?
I forgot what we were talking about before because I had a point I wanted to make and I forgot what we were on about before.
So
Who
it's-
would you choose if it was your
Yeah.
local versus
Oh
the club you
yeah.
support?
Well, I went to the United Northampton Town game a few years ago when
Where they go?
United.
Where they go? Pump.
Yeah, but I went there supporting United. I didn't go supporting Northampton Town. United could go into League One,
Mhm.
and I'd still support them. I'd probably go to more games
Yeah.
in that regard, because by the time that happens, I'd probably be financially responsible enough to have
What?
to be able to go and do that.
20 quid tickets to Old Trafford.
I mean, the jokes I've been making all season. The fact people keep saying like, why? What is the advocate for Ten Hag? And I keep saying, EFL Championship next season, Tuesday nights in Plymouth is going to hit different. Another type of league for us to win.
More
It would be
trophies in the
so
bag.
The irony
Exactly.
is, even if the irony is,
Bear
United
in
would play
mind,
in the
that still
Championship and
fits
United
with
would probably
Reece's
go for the
principle,
playoff.
though.
Yeah, it does actually fit in with my principle.
What, get relegated and win?
No, about trophies.
Oh right, yeah.
By winning trophies, not playing badminton.
Damn it! We should have used. You should have used that quote today, Reece.
For what?
In the group chat when someone said about trophies doesn't make you a great coach.
I bet if I did, that person would have cried, and I've got no energy to make people cry after the hell I've had at work recently. So no, thank you.
And I'm sorry to hear that, Reece. But I just want you to know that P45 wasn't real. I sent that to you in the post as a joke.
No, I'm losing more colleagues at work, which isn't helping.
Right.
Oh yeah, this is another reason of the downsides. But that can, for me,
FAW Cup.
so that was like another cup that it's way too old for me, so he's probably gonna have to explain it more. But that added to the
Fuck off.
fixture congestion and just turned into another.
So is it abbreviated to the fuck all weirdos cup?
Potentially, well, it's what is it? Football Association of Wales. Off the top of my
That's a
head.
shame. That's a shame. Oh, this combination
Shocking
of Pepsi
name.
Max and Pepsi Max Cherry in one cup is nice.
Ooh.
I blend them both together, just to refill the cup, and it tastes yummy.
Oh,
Reece, what is wrong with you? Have you had too much sugar today or something?
No, I just like the Uber Eats advert. No, the Just Eat one. Sorry, the Just Eat advert. I just quite like it. It's
Wow,
funny.
so you couldn't even get the right to delivery company right. Wow. Still
To be
fraud
fair,
here. He's totally right.
They're both shit, to be fair.
Listen, they bring food to my door, right, and they help me put weight on. I'll take
At
that.
double the price. They deliver to your door at double the price of what
Yes,
the product's
I've
actually
got
worth,
money.
which shit show.
Oh dear. What has this
You-
stream turned into?
Oh my god, this has been a nuts
you've got
stream.
money.
You'd have thought we were wasted tonight or something.
You've got money, but you haven't. You've got money, but you haven't got the ability to turn up to a quiz when we needed you.
I know, shocking
sorry.
behaviour.
I'm sorry, but that was an Mbappe in the World Cup final-esque performance, and I will take that. No one saw me for 80 minutes, and then I suddenly turn up and bang straight on 2 rounds.
Yeah, you won't do that next time.
I mean, the quiz is. Well, I got the next quiz, so that's going to be so good. I get to
Based
actually
on the quiz,
play new
I
shit stuff
can't
below.
wait. I can't wait.
been a
for
long
Reece to
time.
stop
I can't-
avoiding quizzes.
I don't avoid the quizzes. That's the thing. I have a very good record at quizzes. I've got a very good record.
Yeah,
But
so
I
long
like
story short,
doing
it was just a.
Mm.
It was just a mini tournament between the clubs that, well, for us and Swan need to play all the time, basically.
I think if they do find a way to incorporate all the Welsh clubs,
Mhm.
maybe they should. Is there a way they can rejig it?
I think they could maybe. Well, I know it is a bit elitism. Get us to enter later. Oh my god, this man.
You said jig it. That is a dance. You gotta get with it.
Oh my God. Maze, please
ta-
tell me.
taking
Maze,
the piss
please
out
tell
of
me you're still here to cook this fraud, please.
That,
Honestly,
to be
he's
fair,
cooking.
that is taking the piss out of Rio Ferdinand, by the way. If you don't know what I'm talking about.
What you mean, like when he said Ballon d'Or for Vinny Jr. and he finished 5th?
No, when he got caught on camera dancing at the 2002 World Cup and he couldn't fucking celebrate properly, and he went like this.
God.
Look it up. Look it up. He celebrated. He thought he scored his first goal. He thought he scored his first goal against Thomas Sorensen, and it was actually he headed it down. The ball bounced off someone else and went past Sorensen. He went and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm claiming it." And I was like, "How can you claim a goal that you didn't even score?" But his celebration was absolutely funny.
I haven't seen him tonight.
No idea.
That's a very good question. Yeah,
Yeah, where
I
is
don't
he?
even know how did I not see it sooner?
He's hiding because Ten Hag gets sacked. He was hoping that it would stay the same way, but now we've got a manager coming in. He's a bit upset. Just kidding.
Oh dear. Yeah, aside from that, I don't think I have anything else to add. Just how are we another few weeks till the international break is another thing as well.
I want to add something as well that's absolutely funny. Well, he ended up getting second. Okay. In the votes, he was initially ranked.
Reece, you were wrong again. You're just getting cooked tonight, bro.
The votes I've seen, he was initially voted for fifth, and Bellingham was second. But to be fair, I like Vinny Jr., so the fact he got top two is great. Who wants a laugh at Man United in the worst way?
Oh, yes, please.
What are you suggesting?
Now, I hate this form of metric, but unfortunately, this is a fact. XG philosophy.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
XG difference whilst Erik Ten Hag was manager of Manchester United compared to the other top 6 clubs. Manchester United topped the list on plus 116.54 XG. Arsenal in second, plus 98.36. Liverpool, plus 88.06. Yeah, I don't like this stat either. Tottenham are miles behind Liverpool, Arsenal and City. Tottenham are on plus 25.84 and Chelsea are in plus 24.10. Anyone want to guess what Man United's XG was under Ten Hag?
It was probably treble.
I'll give you a fair clue. Manchester United are not a positive XG.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I figured it was bad.
Manchester United's XG under Ten Hag in 2.5 seasons was minus 3.46.
Jesus.
How do you manage that?
Fuck knows.
I know these are all made up hipster stats like the stuff that Brighton come out with, but
even so,
that's incredible.
mental.
At the end of the day, it just goes, like we discussed all tonight, it just goes to show the style of play has not worked and what happens when you stick with something that doesn't work either.
It's literally suicidal at that point. It's
Oh,
proper,
it is.
like put the jacket on and that's ridiculous. How can you be
D minus?
Reece, you sure you're not reading them wrong again? You told us Vinny was 5th in the Ballon d'Or rankings.
The ones
you're
I've
not
seen,
reading that wrong?
the ones I've seen, he was in 5th and Bellingham was 2nd. But no, what?
That's insane.
Manchester United minus 3.84. 46, sorry, 46. Yeah. I'll just read them again. Man City 116.54, Arsenal 98.36, Liverpool 88.06, Tottenham 25.84, Chelsea 24.10, all positive XG. Manchester United minus 3.46. That is disgusting. There's no defense of that. Like, you can't defend that. Even Ten Hag's so-called weirdo fan base on Twitter can't defend that. Sorry, X, because Elon Musk loves to redefine and rebrand his product that he spent $1 billion on, the fucking clown. $1 billion to prove he's a wank.
Mm-hmm.
We were actually so bad.
I just love that in the meantime where the whole United talks are going with Amorim and then Gillan Balag, who is a poor man's dressing clown, comes out and says, I hear from Portugal a new possibility. Ruben Amorim might decide to wait for City if Pep leaves, but United pushing for a deal. And Marco Silva has been approached by United. Now, we know that Marco Silva's on the list.
That's the thing. They're trying to just tie him down while they can.
But I doubt it's City. I think the only club that stops Man United from getting Amorim is Real Madrid. I think they're the only club to replace Ancelotti.
Well, I
But I
don't
don't
know
think it'll
because City are getting the geezer that's upstairs at Porto, Sporting,
Barca.
aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're getting Barca's director of football when Big Stan leaves. Not the sporting director, they're getting the Barca one.
No, they caught that. It's been confirmed, has it not?
I literally got told by my dad, who's a City fan, a day and a half ago, that they're getting the Barca one. Unless they're getting both, which is wild.
Possibly, yeah, because I remember.
But my
it
dad
being
said they're
talked
getting the
about.
Barca. But my dad said they're getting the Barca one. If they end up getting both, that is fucking freaky.
That is insane.
I think
But-
Company's the
Sorry,
next
I'm
manager.
Go on.
I'm just trying to fact check this just to make sure we're right on this.
To be fair, I'm going for what I've been told from a City fan, to be fair. And this is something
Yeah.
that refused to.
Here it is. That's not it there. It is. I just had it and then it went straight back to the top of the screen, for God's sake. Yeah, Sporting Lisbon director of football Hugo Viana is joining City in January to replace Chicky Bergerstein at the end of
So
the
they are
season.
getting him as well.
Mm.
Because I know they were going after the Barca one as well.
Who is the one at Barca?
Is it not Deco? I'm pretty sure Deco is it now.
Hasn't he only been there for like 5 minutes though?
Yeah, no, he was there then the last.
He's only
season,
been
I
there for a
think.
year.
Yeah. To be fair, Deco's done a good job.
Yeah,
Like
he's-
his recruitment has been really good with Hansi Flick. It's been really good stuff, and I like the insistence on using La Masia properly again.
There's nothing on here about Deco leaving Barcelona.
It's just what I was told.
Yeah.
To be fair, the fact is, if they get the sporting guy anyway, that's still a good appointment.
It's still, yeah, it's 100% it's a very good appointment. But I thought that left Amorim hands-on to replace Pep.
Mm.
I don't
I
know,
think
I
it'll be company anyway.
I hope we get Amorim now. Though. I really, really hope we get him now. Make
Yeah.
something this season, because even if we don't sign anyone in January, Klopp came in and reached the League Cup and Europa League final in his first half season.
And
Lost
beautifully
both
lost both.
finals, but you know, I feel like that's when he stopped wearing suits. He just kept losing finals in suits, and then just started wearing all his Trekkie bottoms and that.
I think he just got to the point where like he's the manager of this club. They're not going to get rid of him, and he's always professional. So wear what you want.
yeah,
A manager
exactly.
doesn't. For me, a manager shouldn't have to wear suits. Everything. They should just turn up in a suit.
Just wear whatever they want, to be honest.
Like
To be fair,
that's what I like with Valverde. Like when he goes to Bilbao games, he turns up in a Bilbao suit. He gets to the games and he's straight back into his polo shirt and jeans. If you want to wear a suit during match day, then wear one. But I don't think it's mandatory. As long as
it's
you
not
don't
mandatory
disrespect,
anymore, to be honest.
as long as you don't disrespect the club, then I think you should be allowed to wear whatever's fair and suits you comfortably.
Fair
Do
enough.
just a tier list on manager dress sense.
Like Mourinho doesn't wear suits anymore.
And
He
I'm
wears
so
polo shirts.
disappointed.
He wears polo shirts and jeans. Pep wears fucking Like
Man,
what?
club shop merch for hoodies.
Pep will just
Yeah.
walk into the club shop and just grab anything off the shelf.
But he wears really nice sweaters though. Like the sweaters he wears is nice, and the jumpers and all that with the polos.
Mm.
Like it does. To be fair, it is a nice fit. Like Nagelsmann as well wears a black. Nagelsmann wears a black suit jacket with a black polo t-shirt underneath. I mean, that is expert fit. Fonseca wears paedophile clothing.
Jesus Christ.
I hate him. I full on hate him. I like the fact though I like the fact he's playing a 4-4-2 to be fair, and Pulisic is balling under him, but I still fucking hate him.
No, the best ones I find are the managers who just wear like proper terrace wear. Like Omar Reza at the weekend was wearing this jacket you're flying in flannels, just a random t-shirt, black jeans, and then white trainers. Legends.
I would pure love to see, just for a laugh, somebody just comes out in a club tracksuit and just wears a club tracksuit on the pitch.
You know, that'd be class.
It would be vibes. It'd be the worst kind of vibes, but it would be funny. Like Sean Dyche goes from wearing a suit to wearing an Everton tracksuit and an Everton cap, and he's like, "Fuck this."
Just turns into Tony Pulis.
Yeah, but as a nicer person. Arteta comes out in pizzas.
Just how random is that?
He is a fucking gimp of a manager, and they are a horrible football team. That's 3 games now, Julio, by the way, this season, where they've been a fucking joke. Like, how can I'm going to actually ask you this question. I want you to be deadly serious. How can Arsenal keep getting away with having 7 or 8 players in their box every single game? They're meant to be like one of the best teams in England, one of the best teams in Europe, and they've got 8 players in their box defending. How can that be justified? If it was Man United because we're shit, then fair enough. If it was Everton because they're a defensive-minded team, then fair enough. But Arsenal are meant.
I think they're going pragmatic because, especially in the big games, because
they're afraid.
They're losing players.
They are afraid.
The problem with Arsenal is they don't have very good depth. So you lose Odegaard, you're screwed. So they've reverted to a 4-4-2, and they don't have the most creative players in there.
You've got Moreno, who is creative, so they've not got much of an excuse though. Like they've got multiple defenders, and they're playing Thomas Partey at right back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They've got a bit of an injury crisis. Like Gabriel and someone else went off yesterday injured, which is quite worrying.
So many teams
Timber,
have had injury crisis though. Yeah, he's crooked now.
Yeah, but this is what I mean, Reece. They ended the game with, I think, Ben White, a back 4 of Partey, White, Kivior, and Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly being a midfielder, by the way, as their back 4.
But explain this one then.
Because I think they're trying to gain as many points as they can in the big games.
But they did the exact same against Southampton. Of all teams, they've done the same against Southampton. They just cower away. Like I get I liked Arteta as a player, but ever since he's become a manager the past couple of years, he's not the Arteta that I enjoyed. You know, he's become an absolute prick, and the worst kind of prick, because that's not who you are as a person. He's completely changed who he is. And I don't know about you, but if I was somebody that I liked growing up and all that and enjoyed them, they became a manager, you know he's going to be a good guy, good manager, and then they become a right arsehole, and you're like, what the fuck? Like Simeone was a dickhead, so he's going to be a dickhead as a manager.
Player and as a manager, yeah.
Exactly. So you know what you're in for. Arteta wasn't that as a player. He certainly wasn't that in his first year and a half at Arsenal as a manager, and now he's becoming a right proper clown. Like that can't be accepted, surely. Come on.
Yeah, they just go ahead with it because he's winning all these games.
And they're not even winning.
The best in the Premier League.
And see, when they're winning games, they're not winning well. Like when was last time
they're
Arsenal
grinding
won well?
results. They are.
when was the last time Arsenal actually won a game of football and it was won well? Because they were horrible against Tottenham.
They were.
Like, I'm not saying that in a way to dismiss them, but when was the last time Arsenal won a Premier League game where they actually played well? Because I can't remember. They scraped it against United last season with the late winner. They bottled it twice against City.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
meant
it's
to be the
definitely
team-
a question that needs to be asked, but
It says a lot that Chelsea played better football than them, and Chelsea were apparently in a crisis.
I mean, look at where everyone was predicting them to finish.
Like, Maresca's done really well for them.
Yeah.
Credit where credit's due to Maresca. He's actually turned Chelsea around. They're scoring crazy for fun. But they're actually winning games the way Arsenal should be if they want to win the league. They're winning decisively. I can't remember the last time Arsenal did that. I actually physically can't. Like, Unai Emery with Villa win games better than Arsenal do. Make that make sense. Please make that make sense. Because I can't.
But aside from that, guys, I think we have hit 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 12 seconds. So, parting comments, guys. Yeah, who's really out first?
He's on mute.
Ten Hag's gone. Good night, and see you at the next one.
Wicked. Reece, parting comments, but
Good show. Good laugh. I enjoyed it.
and he's
Goodbye.
gone.
Exactly. Goodbye, Ten Hag. Manchester United are saved. Briefly. Welcome, Ruben Amorim, if you get the job. And fuck Fonseca too.
Absolutely, and you've heard it here first. Imagine if they don't appoint him now, that would just be the funniest thing. But if they do, we're all geniuses, and we've been saying it for months. But if you have enjoyed it, guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, do what you can to support the channel. That'd be appreciated. Like us back on Spotify and listen back in your car or wherever. That'd be appreciated. And we'll see you all for the next one. Let's see the state that Man United's in a week. But apart from that, enjoy and see you next week. Enjoy.
Live on YouTube. And listen back on Spotify. This is the World of Football Podcast.